After calorific value, next topic is measurement of calorific value. Okay, this is one apparatus called as bomb calorimeter. Calorific value of solid fuels and non-volatile liquid fuels can be measured with the help of bomb calorimeter. Okay, this is a rough construction of bomb calorimeter, which is a correct structure, which is the correct construction, but not to the scale. Let us see the main component of bomb calorimeter. Before that, what is the basic idea of measurement of calorific value? Basic idea is heat liberated. Heat liberated. Who is liberating heat? Some known mass of fuel will be liberating heat in this experiment. Will be equal to heat absorbed. Will be equal to heat absorbed. Okay, we will see that part. So we in this lecture we will be studying 6 marks short note on bomb calorimeter. Let us see the construction first. Main components of the bomb calorimeter. This is center component, one part. This is second envelope, blue color, and this is third envelope. This central compartment is called as bomb pot. Okay. In this bomb pot, actually this is steel pot, stainless steel pot, which withstand high temperature, high pressure. Okay. In this bomb pot, there is a crucible. There is a place to keep a crucible. Fine. A container, steel container. In that container, we have taken known mass of fuel. This is known mass of fuel. Say X gram of fuel is taken. In this crucible, we have taken X gram of the fuel sample. This fuel sample is connected to these electrodes. These are the two electrodes. These are the steel electrodes via fuse wire. These are fuse wire. So in a bomb pot, which is a steel container, small steel container, in which there is a place to keep a crucible. In that crucible, we are taking known mass of fuel, say X gram of the fuel. This fuel is connected to steel electrodes via fuse wire, and these steel electrodes are joined to the battery. 6-watt batteries there. Okay. This bomb pot is kept in this second container. This is second container. Bomb pot is literally immersed in the second component, second compartment, second envelope, that is called as copper calorimeter. Okay, this is a copper container. In this copper container, we are immersing the bomb pot, which contain known mass of the fuel. This copper calorimeter is containing, suppose capital W gram of water. Known mass of water is kept in a copper calorimeter, in which you have immersed the bomb pot. Right? So when you pass current to this battery via electrode, via fuse wire to the fuel sample, the fuel sample will catch fire. Fuel sample will start burning. So on its combustion, certain amount of heat will be liberated. Who is liberating heat? Here X gram of the fuel is liberating heat. This liberated heat will be absorbed by this capital W gram of water. Who is absorbing heat? Capital W gram of water is absorbing heat. Okay. So by absorbing heat, there is some rise in the temperature. So that will be recorded by this thermometer. Roughly this is thermometer. This is a Bachmann thermometer that is used to record the temperature. Okay. Rise and fall of temperature. So by absorbing heat by the water, there is a rise of temperature. We will record what is the minimum temperature. Suppose T1 is minimum temperature. Let us consider is 25 degrees centigrade. Okay. And maximum temperature, suppose I am getting is 72 degrees centigrade, or roughly like this. So minimum to maximum will be recorded. Okay. And there is a, in this copper calorimeter, there is electric stirrer for uniform stirring of this water. Okay. And there is an oxygen cylinder for proper smooth combustion. So in this oxygen cylinder we will supply oxygen at the given pressure. This copper calorimeter is again enveloped by air jacket. This is air jacket, and then it is water jacket. Copper calorimeter containing known mass of water, W gram of water, which is absorbing heat by combustion of the known mass of the fuel sample, it is covered by air jacket and water jacket to avoid heat loss on radiation. This is a rough construction of bomb calorimeter. These are the main component: bomb pot, copper calorimeter, air jacket, water jacket. Then there will be fuel sample, electrodes, oxygen cylinder, thermometer, electric stirrer, and so on. One more important point: in this bomb pot where you have kept the fuel sample in the crucible, we have taken 10 ml distilled water. 10 ml of the distilled water is kept in the bomb pot, because when the fuel sample contains sulfur or contains nitrogen, okay, during combustion it will form corresponding oxides of sulfur and nitrogen. Okay, these oxides get dissolved in this water and they will form corresponding acid like sulfuric acid, or with water it will form nitric acid, and so on, right? So formation of acid is exothermic reaction. Formation of acid due to presence of sulfur and nitrogen in the fuel is a exothermic reaction. Heat will be liberated, but that heat is not because of the burning of the fuel sample. That will be because of formation of acid from here and from sulfur and nitrogen. We will record this afterwards. So for that purpose 10 ml water is kept. What is the purpose? This 10 ml water kept in the bomb pot, and if the fuel sample is containing sulfur and nitrogen, on combustion of the fuel sample which is containing suppose this and this, they will form corresponding oxides. These oxides get dissolved in the water and they will form corresponding acids, right? Formation of acid is a exothermic reaction, so certain amount of heat will be liberated. That heat is not because of the burning of the fuel sample, that is because of these two components, or formation of acid actually. Fine. So that part we will be taking in the calculation part. We'll see afterwards. So this is a basic part, okay, of, or this is a construction of bomb calorimeter. Fine. Now see the working of bomb calorimeter. Okay, what we will arrange the assembly like this. What is that? In a bomb pot we will take x gram of the fuel, 10 ml water. Will immerse the bomb pot in a second compartment, that is copper calorimeter. In this copper calorimeter we have taken known mass of water, that is capital W gram. We will arrange the thermometer, electric stirrer, will record the initial temperature. Okay, now we will pass current for few seconds, that will reach to the fuel sample via fuse wire. It will start combustion. Okay, there will be generation of heat. That heat will be absorbed by this capital W gram of water kept in the calorimeter. There will be rise in the temperature of this water, which will be recorded by the Bachmann's thermometer. From the mean rise of temperature of this water, capital W gram of water kept in a copper calorimeter, by doing simple calculation part, easily we can find out the calorific value of the fuel. For that purpose we have to record our observations. What are the observations? Mass of the fuel kept in a bomb pot is x gram. It is x gram. Mass of the water kept in a copper calorimeter, it is capital W gram. Water equivalent of copper calorimeter, it is a small w gram. We'll come to that. Initial temperature, suppose T1, that is room temperature. Final temperature, maximum temperature is T2 degree centigrade. From these observations, by doing simple calculation part, easily we can find out the gross calorific value of the fuel sample. Okay. Now, after these observations, see the calculation part. Okay. What are the observations? Mass of the fuel taken is x gram. Number of times we have seen. Mass of water kept in a copper calorimeter, who is going to absorb heat, is suppose capital W gram. Water equivalent of calorimeter. What is this water equivalent of calorimeter? So apart from the water kept in a copper calorimeter, the other component of the apparatus may also absorb heat. Maybe the copper container itself is a metal part, it may be electrical stirrer, isn't it? It may be the bomb pot and so on. So that factor is taken as water equivalent of copper calorimeter. How to record this? Mass of the apparatus who is absorbing heat into specific heat, that is recorded as small w. That we have to take into consideration, because they rise the temperature is because of heat coming from the fuel sample, and this is initial temperature and final temperature. Before going to calculation part, see the basic idea, basic principle of bomb. Basic principle is heat liberated by known mass of fuel is equal to heat absorbed. Okay, and from the mean rise of temperature we can find out the CV. Now who is liberated? And one more observation is our GCV. Suppose GCV of the fuel is suppose theta. Okay, who is liberating heat? X gram of the fuel is liberating heat, and we are recording that heat in the form of theta. So x theta GCV is equal to what? Heat absorbed by capital W gram of water. So capital W kept in the calorimeter plus small w, that is water equivalent of calorimeter, other parts of apparatus absorbing heat, into what? Mean rise of temperature T2 minus T1. So from this simple observation, theta, that is GCV, can be easily recorded. It is capital W plus small w into T2 minus T1 divided by x. This is the equation, x gram of the fuel. This is the equation. With the help of from this we can find out unit is calories per gram, or it may be kilocalories per kilogram. This is the one equation we are getting. Okay, heat liberated by x gram fuel recorded as GCV, heat absorbed by water plus water equivalent of calorimeter into rise of temperature. From this simple observation we can easily find out the GCV of the fuel sample. Okay, now bomb itself has given some corrections. So corrected formula we can say. Corrected formula. What is the corrected formula? What are the corrections he has given? First correction is called acid correction. First correction is called acid correction, may be noted as A. Second correction is called fuse wire correction. Second correction is called as fuse wire correction, noted in the as a small f. And third may be COTTON, cotton thread correction. Cotton thread correction. You may record it as notation small c. And last correction is called as cooling correction. One correction is called cooling correction, that will record as TDT. That will record as TDT. So let us see what are the corrections they have given, and accordingly how the formula changes. So first correction is acid correction. We have already seen in a bomb pot we are taking 10 ml distilled water. Okay, so if fuel is having nitrogen or sulfur, on oxidation they form oxides, dissolved in that 10 ml water form acid. That acid formation is the exothermic reaction. Some heat is liberated, so that acidified water after the experiment will be titrated with standard base. Okay, how much of base is required? From that we can find out how much of heat is liberated. That just recorded as small a. So that acid correction part is the heat liberated by forming acid, not from the fuel. So it should be made minus. It should be subtracted from the equation. Okay. Then fuse wire correction. What is fuse wire correction? When you pass current from the electrode to the fuel sample via fuse wire, there may be heating up of the fuse wire. So that heated wire may radiate some energy, or energy that is basically by heating up of the fuse wire. So that is not from the fuel sample. That heat is not from burning of the fuel sample. It is by heating up of the fuse wire. So that value also to be subtracted from the equation. That is second correction. Third is cotton fiber correction. What is cotton fiber correction? Suppose this is my fuel sample. So to have a minimum ignition temperature, like to have at a low temperature it should catch fire. So this fuel sample or coal sample, say I will wrap in a cotton fiber. Okay, so they will be heating up cotton fiber, that the fuel will catch fire easily. So that is recorded in the form of cotton fiber. So burning of small amount of cotton fiber may generate heat, but that heat is not from the fuel sample. So this correction also should be made minus, should be subtracted, isn't it? And lastly, cooling correction. So from T2 to T1 to T1 to T2 is the rise of temperature. Again we will be going from higher to lower temperature, from maximum to minimum temperature. Suppose our cooling rate is dt per minute and time required for cooling is t minute. Okay, so t dt is my cooling correction, right? That factor should be added in the equation. That maximum to minimum should be added in the equation. So after that corrections, GCV, that is theta, is equal to mass of water plus water equivalent of calorimeter into T2 minus T1 plus cooling correction TDT minus acid correction, okay, plus, so these acid correction should be made minus, plus what, plus fuse wire correction plus cotton thread correction. So these are the four corrections. One is added, three are subtracted. So this is our final formula. This is called corrected formula. This is the formula after corrections of bomb calorimeter. These three corrections are subtracted, cooling correction is added. Again it is calories per gram is a unit of this, or kilocalories per kilogram. This is a one simple short note for 6 marks on a bomb calorimeter. This way we record the CV, calorific value of solid and non-volatile liquid fluids. I hope you have understood.